Hey, everybody. Hi. So, welcome to our team Zoom tonight for February 13th, 2018. Tonight's a very special night. We have a great lineup for you. And if you guys don't know me, my name is Tracy Anderson. I am from the Seattle, Washington area, and I am a Gold Elite 2. And I've been with Modere for just over a year now, and it has been an amazing ride for me. And I couldn't be happier to have found my forever home here. All right, so our first guest tonight, you may have seen his picture on Facebook and in corporate emails because he was our M3 Grand Transformation winner for 2017. That is a really big deal, all right? That means that he showed the biggest transformation of all the submissions that they had submitted to the corporate offices for 2017. And that would be Bryn O'Neill, and perhaps you can see him on the call on the screen right here. I'm gonna say hi, Bryn.
Hello.
So Bryn also happens to be my son-in-law. So I am super proud of him and really excited to introduce him to all of you so that he can share his story. He lives in Southern Illinois. And I haven't even seen him, you guys, since he's lost all this weight. So today on our practice Zoom was the first time I'd really seen how different he looked other than in pictures, right? So it was really exciting to see. And I just can't wait for you to hear more about his story firsthand. I think that makes a difference. You can say, I know this guy, right, that had these results. That's a big deal to be able to say you know him. Hey, Justin. So anyway, Bryn, say hi to everybody.
Hello, everybody.
And I'm just going to ask you a couple questions, if that's okay, Bryn. I know that your weight gain was kind of gradual, happened over a long period of time, and at some point it kind of stuck up on you, and there was something that happened that made you realize that your weight was no longer acceptable to you. You want to tell us a little bit about that, what that was like for you?
Yeah, it crept up on me. It was a culmination of 15 years of just being lazy and stubborn and not really worrying about it. Halfway through high school, I quit playing soccer and just stopped doing any extra activity, and that just kind of continued. But in June this year, my grandfather had another heart attack, and knowing the family, and he survived it, but knowing the family history and how much heart disease is hereditary, I knew that I was already had markers for it by just having the hereditary factor. So I decided that being 380 pounds at 28 years old was not the choice I should be making. 29, well, no, 28 at that point. But so I decided I needed to do something. I had noticed, like, walking up flights of stairs and trying to tie my shoes, I was running out of breath, but I just kind of backburnered it. But finally I decided that I needed to do something. And I went on a trip to Ireland and Scotland into May, started June, and we did a lot of hiking, my wife and I. And I was gassed all the time. I was just tired. I was worn out, and I knew something had to change. So I just I decided to give M3 a shot after much. I was kind of stubborn. My mother-in-law, Tracy, she tried to get me to do it in January, and I didn't, just because I was stubborn. And after a couple of those events, I decided I needed to do it. Hold on. I can't hear you. There you go.
That's my bad. Okay. So I didn't unmute myself. So anyway, so you were telling me earlier today about some of the other symptoms that you were having, prior to making that decision. Some, like you were sleeping with a CPAP machine at night. Do you want to kind of explain that?
Yeah. So I guess it had been 2 years ago. I was waking up and I was coughing up water in the middle of the night because I was having such constrictive respiratory issues while I was sleeping. and I went and did a sleep study and found out in an hour, I was not breathing for 12 minutes out of an hour. And so I knew I needed to do something. So they gave me a CPAP machine, and I thought that was just the answer to everything. And so I started using that, and I slept better, and I quit snoring, and it was great. It really kind of sucked to travel, though, because I had to take that thing with me. If we went camping, I couldn't take it with me because I didn't have power to run it. And so I'd have these horrible nights of sleep, headaches, blood pressure. I went for 2 weeks. My blood pressure was every morning was 190 to 200 over 110 or 120 for about a week. And when I didn't have the CPAP, so I did the CPAP and fixed it. Put a Band-Aid over the real issue. But I also in March of this year, when I went to get my blood work done at the doctor, I had to go get an ultrasound because my liver enzymes were bad or were low. And so I went to get an ultrasound, and they're like, yeah, you've got a fatty liver. And so it was another thing on top of, so, okay, I've Band-Aided the CPAP, and now I've got a fatty liver, and I needed to do something. And
so, of course, we can't make medical claims, as you all know, but these are just weight-related health issues that Bryn was experiencing before trying our product. So Bryn, you started the M3 program in June with my encouragement.
Yes.
And tell me what it was like your first month and about your pledges that you made.
Okay, so the first month did the 3 pledges of the avoiding sugary drinks, cutting fried foods, and drinking 5 12-ounce glasses of water a day. But with the pledges in the M3, that's the only things I changed. I didn't do anything else. I just ate regular foods, and I kind of eased myself into it because honestly, I did it, and I had no real for the first week or two. I was like, I don't know if I'll stick to this. But after the first 2 weeks and definitely the first month, I realized, holy crap, this is really working for me. What else can I do to change? What else can I do to make this work even better? And so after 2 to 3 weeks, 4 weeks into it is when I started changing everything I was eating, everything I was drinking. I stopped drinking Gatorade because there's a lot of stuff in there that, it's not awful, but it wasn't great. And so I was just drinking water, maybe some antioxidant drinks every once in a while. Food-wise, I was eating like turkey and cheese for lunch, no bread, very low carb. And then for dinner, I started having smoothies. And so I did that for 2 to 3 months where I would eat either a salad at lunch or turkey and cheese or like a Subway wrap. And then for dinner, I always had that smoothie. And then I would change. If I was going to go out that night, I would have the smoothie for lunch to offset how much I was going to eat that night. Or if I was going to. Whatever.
So you realized that, with a little bit of effort, a few changes, you were able to make a difference so that a little bit more effort, it could be even more dramatic changes, right?
Yeah, correct. Yeah, M3 was great by itself. And then it was like, hey, this is helping me. So let's kickstart this and make this thing better.
So how do you think the M3 supported you, the products themselves?
I think I got that definite boost of energy in the morning, and the fiber in the evening. As much as nobody likes to talk about it, it's nice when you're eating healthy to have that fiber, because if not, you just stop. Everything it just stops moving.
Gotcha.
So I
a new product for that too.
Exactly right. And so everything it made me. I just felt better as soon as I started M3. And, I know cutting the soda was a big thing, and drinking all the water, I know that helped, but I just had a lot more energy. And I know from just stopping drinking soda alone, I knew that there was something to be said for like the Burn product and that, the thermogenic, and that kind of metabolism boost. I felt it every morning, and I had more energy, and it was great because the 2 guys I work with didn't have it and I had it. So I was all over the place, and it's been real fun.
So, Bryn, after 7 months, why don't you tell everybody how much weight you lost?
Okay, so 7 months. As of this morning, I'm down 112 pounds. I'm down 10 to 12 inches on my waist. I'm getting close to 12 inches on my waist. I'm trying to close in on that. I went from a 3X to 4X shirt. I'm in an extra large. Shorts, I'm in an extra large from 3X. pretty much my wedding ring. I had to go get a new wedding band because I was wearing a 13 and a half ring size, and this is an 11. So I went down 2.5 sizes in my fingers, and it's been really neat. Like, I bought an Apple Watch, and I'm almost to the top of the band now. And it's like I've lost weight everywhere, and it's been really, really fun through this whole thing. It's been kind of hectic when I'm like, I don't have any clothes. Now I got to go clothes shopping, but I love buying clothes and everything else. So it's been nice.
Yeah. It's
yeah.
fun to shop when you feel good about your weight, right?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So tell me about what you've, how you're feeling. I know we talked about the CPAP machine. So have you been able to get rid of that or use it less?
Yeah. So I tried to use it I stopped using it probably middle December, start of December. I was swallowing air, and I know when I first started it, you swallow air on those machines. Because you're not used to it. Well, then I was getting too much, and so I figured out how to hack it to lower my how much air I was getting at night, and I turned it down a lot, and I was still swallowing air, and so then I turned it down a little even more, and I slept okay, but I had the thing cranked down really far low. Well, I tried using it 3 nights ago, and I woke up and I felt absolutely miserable. So I turned it off. I put it up, I put it in its bag, and I put it, away. So I'm not using it anymore because I just felt awful with it.
That is fantastic. And your liver enzymes, I think you mentioned those are normal again. And
yeah. All my blood work numbers are good. Everything that was close is now way, way below. It was really cool. It was neat going into the doctor after not seeing him for 6 months, because I joked with my nurses, and I guess I went there in July and I lost 20 pounds in 30 days. Well, yeah, about 30 days I lost 20 pounds. And I told them, I said, I'm going to lose 100 pounds by the end of the year. And, they were just like, yeah, whatever. Well, I went in January 7th to go into the doctor, and I had lost 100 pounds. So
that's got to feel good.
Oh, yeah.
And I think you were mentioning one other benefit that is cheaper to eat healthy.
Oh yeah, it's way cheaper to eat healthy. I'm not eating fast food and spending money, but I'm eating less food, and so the amount of food I've got to keep on hand is a lot less. The other thing is as far as just cheaper as well as clothes, going down from a 2X or 3X and smaller, you lose that $2 or $3 a shirt, and pants. You don't have to buy pants that are unhemmed. So it's kind of nice, because that was with my duty pants for the fire department, and whenever I was working there, I'd have to get whatever size waist, and then I'd have to have my mom hem them because they didn't make that size length of pants in that size. So everything's cheaper.
So Bryn's a firefighter. It's one of the things that he does, one of the many things he does. And so one of the things he was telling me is just how he feels like he's a much better public servant now that he's healthier.
Yeah, I was always able to do it, even at my heaviest. I was able to still do the job, but I didn't feel like I was doing right by the community because I was too big, and I had to worry about, my guys, if they were going in with me, that I was an even bigger problem because cardiac issues is the leading cause of killing firemen. And so I've got this. I had this in the back of my mind for forever because I was heavy and family history and doing that job. And I'm thinking, if I go down, it's going to take, 1 or 2 people a really long time to get me out. And so I was like, I've got to do something to help them out, help me out, help everybody out.
Yeah, that's amazing. That makes me emotional thinking about it. Sorry. Can't stand that thought, but I'm so proud of you, Bryn. So Bryn is just, now that he's completed 7 months on the M3, he's just transitioned to our new lean body sculpting system, which is the perfect transition for him because he's got down to his goal weight, and now he just started working out today, and now he's going to start focusing on that lean muscle mass. And right, Bryn? So how's that working for you?
Yeah, so I just started working out today. I had a back issue I was trying to get figured out before I started working out, got it done, and so now I'm trying to lose a little bit more weight. 270 was, or 270, yeah, 270 was 275 was my original goal weight, and then I dropped it down to 260, and now I think I'm going to go down to 240. and then I'm just going to get ridiculous in the gym and just, try to pull a, Gerard Butler from Sparta from 300 or something, just go nuts.
You have a competition coming up that you enter, right?
Yeah, my brother and I are going to do a Spartan race in St. Louis in August, and a mud run in Little Rock, and we're going to start try to do a bunch of those. So I have him to push me, so that'll be good.
That's so fun. So one more thing I just want to touch on. So Bryn, I guess it's been about 2 weeks now, he went back to the home offices at courtesy of Modere to do a photo shoot and a video shoot. And he got to spend a whole day in the corporate offices meeting everybody, and they wined and dined him. They spoiled him. So what were your impressions of the company having been there, Bryn? Because most people on this call have never had the opportunity to do that. So you've had an opportunity to do something that they haven't. So maybe tell them a little bit what that was like for you.
Yeah, it was really nice. You walked in and it was a very welcome atmosphere. Going in and talking to everybody. Everybody was turning to say hi. It was really neat walking through. Everybody was, welcoming, and then they were saying hi before they realized why I was there, and then it was, oh, you're the grand transformation winner, and then it was like a double hi. So it was really nice because everybody was really receptive. I had a good time doing the photo and video shoot. They had everything set up. It was really nice. Walked in, they offered me, they were pampering me, and it was great because anytime anybody walked in, it was, hey, how are you? Everybody was just a really welcome atmosphere to be in the building. It was really nice.
Yeah, that's great. So I've been telling Bryn, you guys tell me what you think, put it in the comments. That might be a good time for him to consider becoming a social marketer. What do you guys think? Yeah, so we're talking about it. So Bryn, thank you so much for getting on and telling your story. You really are an inspiration to many people, and I know at first it was a little uncomfortable, coming out and just sharing what your results are, but we're all so proud of you, and you really have the ability to change a lot of people with your story and help them with their lives. So thank you for that.
Well, thank you. Yeah, because when I first started this, I didn't want to tell anybody. I was just trying to be as nonchalant. I was going to do this. I was determined to do it, but I wasn't going to say anything. And now my whole thing is I've seen some people between the posts on Facebook and stuff, I've seen people commenting on it. I've seen people, tagging, their husbands or friends or whatever, and, saying, hey, you need to check this out. And now if I can inspire, 15 people, if I can inspire 100, I'd love to. And I'm welcome to talk to anybody about it, tricks and tips of what I've done and what works for me, and the little things that, keep you going if you ever get down. I've got all that. So I'm definitely willing to talk to anybody and everybody.
Thanks, Bryn. You guys find him on Facebook. If you have questions or people you want to connect with him, please reach out to Bryn. You can find him on my page, Bryn O'Neill. All right, Bryn, I'm going to go ahead and mute you, and I'm going to introduce our next guest. So you guys, I know that you guys are all excited about this. We have Justin Prince in the house tonight. He's an Elite 3. He's a family man from Utah. He's got his 4 kids, and he just, he pours into us all the time. I mean, he's always on Facebook, and he has so much great content out there just to help all of us with, be successful and to become better people. And I've been really fortunate over the last year to have an opportunity to spend time with Justin and really get, to know him on a different level. And as much as he is on Facebook, it's 10 times that in person, 100 times that. You really get a sense when you're having a conversation with Justin about how much he truly cares about you and how much your success means to him. And so if you ever get an opportunity to meet him at an event, please, introduce yourself to him, and you'll get a chance to see what I'm talking about. But he's going to pour into us tonight, and I'm going to kind of interview him the same way I did Bryn. So Justin, you want to say hi to everybody?
Yeah, thank you so much, Val. What an honor to be on with you tonight. And I just love your positivity, your vibrancy, and just it's so funny as I'm like looking across on Zoom, you can like look across the headline to see who's on, and just so many people that I think so highly of and hold in such high esteem. And those of you that I don't know yet, I'm excited to get to know you, but those of you that I've been able to meet and get to know, and some of us know each other more through Facebook. We're like Facebook friends, but we're like real friends, So just what an honor to be on with you guys tonight. And Tracy, thank you. I told you this, I think, on that bus ride when we were leaving the airport. I just said, you have such And it's such a gift, but it's also something that you've harnessed over your life, which is just you're just a very positive person. You're just a really optimistic, positive, bright person. Some people see the glass as half empty. You see it as half full, and you just have a warmth about you that I really admire. So I'm just so honored to be on with you.
Justin, thank you so much. That means the world to me. So you guys, Justin, as you know, said he would kind of do a Q&A for us tonight. And I know lots of people have questions. So I had you submit your topics and your questions to me. And, I kind of put some in groups together, just kind of cover the topics that we wanted to. And one of the things that I feel like we really need to talk about is recruiting, because as you know, February is our big recruiting month. We've got this incentive going on with the company. So there's been lots of recruiting happening on our team. The incentive is definitely working. So I really wanted Justin to address, if you would, how to really get people started the right way. And maybe for some of you that are on the call tonight, maybe you got started, but maybe you didn't get started with as strongly as you'd hoped to because life got in the way or whatever, and you'd like a restart. So Justin, maybe you could speak to that right now about how we can best get people started in this business.
Yeah. So first of all, I want to echo what you said about recruiting. So in January over February, we grew our recruiting numbers by just barely under 200%. We had 200% more social marketers join in January than we had in February. And the numbers have continued to hold strong here in February. So what's interesting at Modere is for every one person that says yes to our business, 10 say no to the business, but yes to our product. So we have a 10-to-1 ratio of customers to social marketers. So to me, when we have new social marketers join, I would encourage you guys to think about it this way. When you have a new social marketer join, you didn't just have one person join. The averages are that you just had 11 people join. The one social marketer plus all 10 of the customers that they'll eventually lead you to. So, recruiting, you go recruit 3 people, that's 33 new orders, that eventually you have the chance to be paid on as they go build out the average customer, base. And again, you guys know how averages work, right? So that's the average. So a couple things I would share with you. John C. Maxwell talks about the rule of 5. And the rule of 5 is what are the 5 things you do every single day, every single day, every single day. And let me just very quickly illustrate the rule of 5 to you, and then I'll make the point. So the rule of 5 is, if you have a tree, an axe, and you go out every single morning and you pick up your axe and you hit the tree with 5 good solid whacks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The next, you put the axe down, you go to the rest of your day. The next morning you wake up, grab the same axe, same tree, same spot, same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Put the axe down. You go about the rest of your day. The next morning you wake up, same tree, same axe, same spot. Again, 5 good solid whack with the axe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, what's eventually going to happen to the tree? You keep the same axe, same tree, same spot. Well, eventually, if you keep doing that 5 times a day, you're eventually going to have the tree fall, right? So John C. Maxwell talks about the rule of 5, and it's the 5 right things you should do every single day to grow your business. And success is not 105 things that you need to do every day or even 155 things. Success is just doing the right things every single day, doing the right 5 things. So someone asked John Maxwell, they said, how did you write 85 books? He's sold, I think, the latest numbers are like 23 million copies, like 3 of the top 5 business books ever were his books. He said, how do you write 80 some odd books? And he said, I do 5 things every single day. Now, I'm going to share with you his 5, but I want you to be thinking about your 5, and I'll share with you what I think our 5 are as well. But, he said, I do 5 things every single day. He said, every single day I read, every single day I think, every single day I file, every single day I ask questions, and every single day I write. So reading is pretty obvious. Thinking is pretty obvious. Filing means when he finds pertinent information or quotes or stories that he likes, he has a way that he'll file them into little cardstock files that he has so he can recall it later. He has a little filing system he uses. He asks questions. He actually wrote a book called Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. Tony Robbins said if you ask enough of the right people, enough of the right questions, you'll get enough of the right answers. So he asks good questions, and then he writes to answer the questions. That's how he writes all these books. So he says, I do that every single day. I read, think, file, ask questions, and write. Now, someone said, well, John, what do you mean when you say every single day? He said, I do it every single day. And they said, what do you do on Christmas? He said, I read, I think, file, ask questions, and I write. They say, what do you do on your birthday? He said, I read, think, file, ask questions, and I write. He said, I just do the right 5 things every single day. So what I'm going to share with you is this. In a business like ours, what are the 5 things that you should be doing every day? Because sometimes you feel like there's 105 things you could do. Like, man, what should I do? I want to just give you the 5 things, and I'll maybe give you some strategies on how you can use these 5 things. So we really get paid, as far as I'm concerned, to do 5 things. One is invite. Like, we get paid to have people, to invite people to look at our products, invite people to look at our business. Number 2 is we get paid to present. Now, when I say present, think of it this way. We get paid to invite people to look at a presentation. Is actually even an easier way to think about it. We get paid to have people look at a video, or look at a Facebook group, or look at a post. In other words, we get paid to, the presentation is a presentation typically that someone else gives. Number 3, we get paid to follow up. So people that we've invited to look at the information, that looked at the presentation, we get paid to follow up. Hey, what'd you like best? What were your thoughts? Do you have any, what questions can I answer for you? We also get paid to generate leads. In other words, to have people say, what are you up to anyway? I'm kind of seeing, some stuff. So we get paid to find more people to invite. And then lastly, we get paid to mentor and coach. So again, the 5 things are invite, present, follow up, generate leads, and mentor and coach people. And you say, well, what should I do every single day? Every single day you should be asking, did I invite anyone to take a look at what we do? Take a look at our products, learn a little bit more, maybe take a look at our business idea. Did I invite anyone today? Number 2 is, did I have anyone that I invited look at the presentation? Number 3 is, did I follow up with anyone? The person that I invited or presented to yesterday, did they follow up? Then number 3 is, did I do anything today to generate more leads? Like, in other words, to have more people know that I'm in business. And then lastly, did I mentor or coach either a customer or a team member? So to me, if you were to kind of break it down, those would be the 5 things. Now, a couple quick thoughts I'm going to share with you guys on inviting. If you mind, I'll maybe just touch on a couple of these real quick. Let me share some thoughts on inviting. Inviting can be super scary particularly when you're brand new. You're like, what if they say no? What if they say yes? Like, what if they have questions? Like, what the heck am I going to do? Let me share with you a line that I've used, my whole career. And the line is simply this. The line is, you may have an interest, you may not, and either way is fine. Another way to say it is, you might have an interest, you might not, either way is fine. It's what I call relieve the pressure. Like, my job is not to talk him into or out of anything. My job is simply to invite him to take a look at a presentation. Like, that's my job. And, to follow up on the information that they saw. My job is not to convince them. Let me share this with you guys. My dad told me years ago, a man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. And the same thing's true of a woman. A woman convinced against her will is of the same opinion still. The point I'm really trying to make is, we're not in the convincing business as much as we invite people to take an honest look at what we're doing, follow up with them, answer any questions they might have. So I just like to say, Tracy, you might have an interest in this product that I'm taking, you might not. And either way is totally fine. Would you mind just taking a look at it? It's about as simple as I could say it. Would you mind checking it out? I'm kind of excited about it. I think it's got I'm excited about the product. I'm excited about the people I'm meeting. I'm excited about the business, whatever. So let me give you guys another quick example. I personally feel more comfortable leading with more of a business kind of presentation. There's no reason why I do, other than I just personally feel more comfortable having that conversation. So I'd say to someone, Tracy, look, you might have an interest in this, you might not, and either way is totally fine with me, but would you mind checking it out? I'm super excited about it. I think it has a lot of promise. Would you mind checking it out? I'll send you a presentation, or send you some information you can review. Now, that's a business approach. A product approach might be like, I am loving these products, and you might have an interest in them, you might not. Either way is completely fine with me, but I'd love to get you some information and see if it's a fit for you or someone that you might know, something like that. So again, we get paid to invite. The presentations, I would encourage you to use tools. Can I give you guys, if you don't mind, on your paper, can I give you something that I think will help you? Write down the words. So just imagine you've got your notes out like this. By the way, my notes are all scribbled on, but imagine in the middle of your page, you write the word trust. In the middle of your page, write the word expert. So the top goes trust, go trust, respect, and then the bottom do expert. So it should say trust, respect, expert. People that know you, they trust you, and they should trust you. You're a great person. You're an honest, person, but they may not respect you when it comes to either this business yet, or maybe even the products. They might think to themselves, you've only been in for 4 days. Like, what do you really know about the products? I mean, come on, what do you know about probiotics? Or what do you know? I knew you since high school. Like, are you really a guru now on weight loss or fitness? So they trust you, but they may not respect you when it comes to this business specifically. They may respect you as a mom, as a dad. In other words, In other areas of your life, and they respect you, perfect. So what you do is this. Draw an arrow from the word trust down to the word expert. So what you do is use your trust, the trust they have in you, to connect them to an expert, and then draw an arrow going the other direction from expert back to the word respect. So imagine it this way. Trust, respect, expert. Use your trust to connect them to an expert, and then let the expert build the respect. So you say, well, who's my expert, or what's my expert? The information is the expert. Like, in other words, the website, the video that you choose to use, that's your expert. So I use my trust to connect them to the information, to the presentation. I let that be kind of the third party expert, if you will. And then once I connect them to the expert, then I let the expert build the respect. I let the video build their, like, whoa, this is pretty interesting. Man, this Craig Horn guy from GNC, like, geez Louise. Or, man, this BioCell's pretty, these 7 international patents, 37 human clinical, this is pretty impressive stuff. I don't try and explain all that stuff to them. I let the tools do all that respect building for me. Does that make sense? So trust, respect, expert. Let me give you guys one quick tip on follow-up that I think will be super helpful. Okay, so someone drop in the comments if you agree with me on this. How many of us, like, someone put the word, like, no thank you. Okay, the words no thank you in the comments. If you're the kind of person that does not like to chase, bug, annoy, or nag people, like, someone say no thank you, that's not for me. Like, I hated that. Like, where I felt like I was chasing people around or nagging them or bugging them. It drove me nuts. Okay, so let me give you a quick little tip that will be great. When you're doing your invitation, that's when you set up your follow-up. So here's the tip. Set up your follow-up in the invitation. So someone write this in the comments. Set up your follow-up in your invitation. So remember, we get paid to invite, present, follow up. My follow-up is already set up in my invitation. So let me give you an example. Let's say I'm talking to Tracy. Tracy, I'm super excited about it. You may have an interest, you may not. Either way, it's totally fine. And then I'll say something like this. If I got you some information, would you check it out? She goes, okay, cool. Now here's what I do. Normally what I used to do is imagine that I'm trying to get this pen from my fingers. This is the tool. This is the presentation. I'm trying to get it from me to Tracy. What I used to do is this. Tracy, you may have an interest, you may not. I'm excited about it. Would you mind checking it out? She goes, sure. And I'm like, boop, and I just throw it over to her like, oh my gosh, I got a yes. Like, I can't even believe it, What I started doing was this. I still held the presentation. I said, Tracy, I know how this is the line. I know how busy you are, and I know how busy I am. What if we did this? This tool, this will take you 5 minutes to watch. When would be a good time to touch bases? Because the last thing I want to do is kind of bug you. I know how busy we both are. When would be a time for us to touch bases after you've had a chance to watch it? So I just set up my follow-up appointment right there as before I gave her the presentation. Are you guys following what I'm saying? This was so impactful for me. So again, the language is something like this. I say, hey, Tracy, I know how busy you are, and I know how busy I am. What if we do this? The last thing I would like to do is, is kind of chase you. This presentation is 5 minutes, 10 minutes, however long it is. How soon do you think you'll have a chance to watch it? Would you be cool if we just set up a time right now so that way we both have it in our calendar that we could follow up, and I just want to get your feedback on it. Are you okay with that? So do you guys notice how I kind of have a little bit of, the term is called posture. It's just, the way I want you to think about it is just a little bit of strength. I'm not saying I'm not desperate. Like, this is valuable information I'm going to share with you. I'll send you the video on Facebook. In other words, I'll message it over to you. It's 5 minutes long, or I'll add you to the group, and I'll tag you in the information. But before I leave the conversation, I set up my follow-up. Tracy, I know how busy you are. I know how busy I am. The last thing I want to do is kind of, chase you around because I know how busy we both are. What if we do this? What if we set up a time to watch it? I'll say, it's about 10 minutes long. How soon do you think you'll have a chance to watch it? That's a great question. How soon do you think you'll have a chance to watch it? And then I say to her, how's tomorrow at 7 a.m. or how is tonight? I'll call you in 10 minutes. Does that work for you? That's really great language. Get permission to follow up. So then when you follow up, you're not nagging anybody. You guys have a set appointment, right? Like we said, I'll be there at 7, and then you have a set appointment. Did everyone follow that? Super important. Let me share with you about lead generation. Number 4, we get paid to generate leads. Let me give you guys some quick tips on this. I'm going to give you 2 quick tips. One is referrals. So someone write this in the comments. All good business is referral business. So all good business is referral business. Some of the biggest teams I've ever built, teams that have generated either hundreds of thousands or millions and millions of dollars in revenue, came from referrals. Why? Because all good business is a referral business. Let me give you guys an example. If you're in real estate and I give you a referral, the best compliment I can give you as a realtor, or the best compliment I can give you as a chiropractor or CPA, whatever it is a referral. Because all good business is a referral business. So what I'll do is I'll say, hey, Tracy, I'd love to share with you what I'm doing. You may have an interest, you may not. And then I'll say, even if you don't, I believe that all good business is referral business. Even if it's not for you, you may know someone who this product would really dramatically affect their life, or you may know someone that this is the right time in their life to maybe look for a new business. I would appreciate the referral. So that's a really great way to generate additional leads, is just always through referrals. I got great at getting referrals. And by the way, you get referrals on a couple things. Number one, you get them based on the relationship. You get referrals based on how they think you're going to treat their friend. So if they think you're going to be a little tacky or a little weird, they're probably not going to give you the referral. And just like none of us would give the referral, right? If we're like, I don't know how I feel about it. On the flip side, though, if we feel like if they know we're going to treat that friend with a high level of respect, we have a good amount of pull power with the person, we can get referrals all day long. So that's one. The other question I like to know is share with you guys is this. I'm going to get a little bit heavy on you here for a second. Let me talk about your brain for just one sec, okay? Someone write this in the comments too. You cannot not answer a question. Let me say that again. Your brain cannot not answer a question. So let me give you guys a real life example, okay? Right now, let me just watch this. Are you tall or are you short? Do you like Mexican food or do you like Italian food? Would you rather travel or would you rather stay home? Do you like to read or would you rather watch a movie? Are you more vibrant or are you more dull? Someone say yes in the comments if your brain answered every one of those questions. Like as I said each of those, your brain was like yes or no or Mexican or Italian. Like you were actually answering the questions as I was saying those questions. That's the way our brains are programmed to work. Your brain literally, all day long just it asks and answers questions. So what you want to do is you can actually program the brain to ask better questions and get better answers. I'll give you guys a quick example. One of the lines I would use on referrals, I wouldn't say to someone, do you have a referral? Guess what the typical answer is for them? Let me think about it, or no, I don't, but let me think about it. I'd ask a question like this. Hey, Tracy, let me ask you a question. Who do you know? This is the language. Someone write this in the comments. Who do you know? Who do you know that, now watch this. Tracy, who do you know that is the warmest, friendliest, easiest to talk to person that you know? And by the way, if someone were to ask me that, I probably would say Tracy Anderson. By the way, they said, who's the warmest, friendliest, most genuine person you know? Like just the easiest to talk to. I'd be like, Tracy Anderson. Let me give you guys another example. Who's the most vibrant person you know? Let me give you another example. Who do you know that has direct sales experience? They work for Tupperware or Mary Kay or Avon, or who do you know that is a realtor that left real estate because they were sick of nights and weekends? Who do you know that is let me ask you guys this question. Who do you know that's the most competitive person that you know? Who do you know that is the most driven person? You know, they make 40,000 a year and they want to make 80, or they make 150 and they want to make 300, or they make 500, they want to make $1 million. They're just driven. Who do you guys know that's the most ambitious person that you know? Who do you guys know that who do you know that is a chiropractor? Who do you know that's a real estate professional? Who do you know that's a mortgage professional? I mean, guys, tell me right now, by the way, someone say yes in the comments. If even as I asked these questions to you, you actually were in your mind, were answering those questions. Like when I said, who is the most competitive person you know? You thought of somebody, like your brain's like, it's freaking Randall, like the guy's like freaking crazy. The point I'm trying to say is this, is if you ask great questions, you'll get great answers. And so I ask for very specific referrals. I don't say, hey, Tracy, do you have anyone that you think would be interested in what I'm doing or this product or this business? I say, Tracy, let me ask you this. Let me ask you a question. So, your daughter, has some friends that are, they're just these young moms. They've had who do you know that, they maybe just had a baby a year ago or so, and they're looking to just lose a little bit of baby weight. Well, then you might get a specific answer. You guys following what I'm saying? It's a great way to generate leads. Okay, number 4 on generate leads. Let me give you one other quick thing. I would encourage you to use social media. got to encourage you guys to use Facebook. You can generate a ton of leads through getting through social media. So let me give you guys an example. Someone write this in the comments. This is important. Increase curiosity and lower resistance. Your goal on social media is to increase curiosity and lower resistance. Let me give you guys the opposite of this. Let me give you the example of raising resistance and lowering curiosity. It'd be a post like this. I am so excited about Modere, this new company. It's amazing. It's probably the best company I've ever seen in my whole life. And everyone I know should buy these products. They're amazing. And by the way, they're on sale right now. Hit me up for a code, PM me, or here's the link right here. What you did is you raised resistance and you crushed curiosity. They know the product name. They know the company name. They know, and guess what they're going to do? They're just going to go to Google and check it all out and decide what they want to do. What your goal is for them to come to you and talk to you. Basically say, so what are you talking about? So let me give you another example. Okay, Bryn, let me use your example. By the way, your story was just off the charts. I'm so happy for you. I want to say I'm like so proud of you, but I'm not like trying to be like your dad or something like that. But like literally, I am so proud of you, like as a man, as a human being, to be able to make that kind of commitment to yourself and to your health and to your family is just so inspiring. So huge congratulations. Let me give you guys an example. By the way, if someone wants to do this tonight, I'm willing to bet you could get some leads tonight. Post a picture of Bryn, maybe even tag him in it and say, was so inspired to hear Bryn's story. This is on your Facebook wall, okay? You got a picture that says, so inspired to hear Bryn's story tonight. He lost over 100, he was a firefighter that lost over 100 pounds and was, I was just so inspired to hear his thing. Bryn, great job. Keep going. You're amazing. Or another, maybe even that same one, with a simple weight loss system, Bryn lost over 100 pounds. So you say something like that. With a simple weight loss system, Bryn lost over 100 pounds. Bryn, your story was so inspiring. Great job. You really touched everybody on the Zoom tonight. Guess what you did on that one? You raised curiosity. They're like, well, what's the simple system? And what did he do? And 100 pounds, like, holy cow. And you lowered their resistance. You didn't try and put your link in. You didn't say, PM me for details, none of that. Now, that's the kind of thing someone says, well, what's the program? Or, what are you talking about? Does that make sense? So really powerful. Raise curiosity, lower resistance. Monica French did a call yesterday on our Modere team call on creating curiosity. Did a fantastic job. So anyway, that's a way that you can gain more leads, raise curiosity, lower resistance, okay? Then number 5 is mentor and coach. And I'll go quick on this one, but I'll just simply say this. One of the blessings of our business is you gotta be kind of a guide or a mentor. The word guru, guru or mentor are similar terms. The word guru, literally the word gu means from darkness, and ru means light. So if you're a guru, you take someone from darkness into light. That's what a mentor does. A mentor takes someone from lack of belief to faith. They take them from no hope to hope. That's what a mentor does. And what a blessing that you get to be a mentor and a coach to customers, a mentor and a coach to team members. So again, just to review, and Tracy, I promise all my answers will not be this long. This was so long, I promise. I'm sorry. Anyway, we get paid to do 5 things, right? Every single day. Invite, present, follow up, generate leads, and mentor and coach. Now, how often should we do that? Every single day. You just keep taking the whack of the tree every single day. Eventually, the tree is going to fall, right? You stay consistent, know what you want, stay consistent, stay focused, and the tree eventually is going to fall. So I promise, Tracy, there'll be shorter answers than that, but that was a start.
No, that was excellent because actually I crossed off about 6 of the questions that you already covered the answers to.
Okay, good.
Right? It was just perfect. So our next topic, I believe that belief is such an integral part of this business. I think that it's such an important element to having success in this industry. And you, of all people, know where this company's been. You know where it's going. So could you speak to why Modere and why right now and what it is that makes our company so special and kind of paint the picture for where we're going as a company?
Yeah, absolutely. So belief really is the backbone of our profession because we live it's a very virtual business, meaning you don't show up to your Subway location every single day, or you don't show up to your building every single day. You show up you show up to your phone every day, to run this virtual business. And so belief is so important because so much of what we do is like And also so much of what we do is delayed gratification. And this is true of all entrepreneurs, but it takes time and effort. And so you're putting in time and effort without necessarily seeing all the results day one. I tell people, I've never worked harder for less money in my life than the first couple of years of learning to become an entrepreneur. I was out there like, I remember thinking, just pay me an hourly wage. This is terrible. Like, I'm not making enough money. But if you'll do what is easy, your life will be hard. But if you're willing to do it as hard, your life can be easy, because you do way more than you're paid for in the front end to get paid way more in the back end than you did. It's very interesting. Like, sometimes you're like, man, they keep paying all this stuff. And so here's what I'll share with you guys. I just believe, and I believe this always since we started Modera, it's the reason I kind of came out of network marketing retirement, if you will, is I just thought we had a chance to change the whole world. And what's so interesting is we actually are. Like, let me give you guys an example. Sometimes I think we get so far into the forest that we can't see the trees. Do you guys know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes it's like nice to just like come out, like go back to 30,000 feet. Like, from the time that I've started here 5.5 years ago, we took a market that was doing basically this is North America, $5 million a year in revenue. And we've done last year over 85 million in revenue. So from 5 million to 85, we have done well over 100 million total. And this is just the North America stuff, right? We thought, so when we started, let me give you guys some context. We thought we could build a customer acquisition model that could drive massive customer acquisition and retention. Well, at the time, what if we could get to 50-50? What that means is 50% of the revenue coming from folks like us, people that are social marketers that are out promoting and building a business for themselves. And then the other 50% to come from the customer orders. And we literally were like, dude, if we pull that off, like, it would just be so unbelievable, because probably 100% of the orders at that time were all coming from people like us, the social marketers. And we're now over 80%. So 80% of the company revenue, at least in the North America, is customer revenue. Guys, what that means is this. It means that over the next, let's say, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months, 5 years for you, you build a customer base of 10 to 100 to 1,000 to tens of thousands to literally, eventually, for some folks, millions of customers over a period of time. Now, what does that mean? It means that you have true residual income, right? Because we have over 100 different products that if they don't love this, they love that. If they don't love that, they love this. If they don't love both of those two, they love these 3 things over here. You have this broad net of consumption of these live clean, non-toxic, safe, affordable products that we can build in this big customer net over a period of time. So I remember when we first started, so I started here as a consultant. Let me give you guys just a quick backstory. So I had been in network marketing, started 12 years ago. I was a number 3 international spokesperson for my first company. And then and by the way, that company went out of business. I was the man one day and then went out of business, and I wasn't the man anymore. The ownership, it was a smaller company. The owner got in a fight with his management team. And so I went from like being the man to like starting over from scratch. And it was not fun. It was a great learning experience, but it's one of those things where sometimes one door closes, a bigger door opens kind of thing. It took me 2 years to get full-time in my next company. And I ultimately became the fastest growing distributor they had in the US. And it was a great experience, blah, blah, blah. I ended up selling that business. It was a multi-million-dollar business. I sold it when I was 30. So I was out for 2 years, completely out of network marketing for 2 years. When I came to Modera, I came in as a consultant. And what I mean by that is I wasn't there to build a business. I was just there to help them transform this existing company. This company, by the way, let me give you some quick context. They're so unique. It had done 6.7 billion. The legacy company that Modera's built on. People are like, I just want you to know this to understand some of the power that Modera has, right? 6.7 billion in product sales. This is before I showed up, by the way, before we all got here. They were doing a couple $100 million a year in global revenue. And so we had this kind of strong asset-based company, but they also needed to be transformed. Like, we needed to transform this business. So long story short, when we started creating social retail, my wife and I came home one time and they'd give me a bunch of their products, the legacy company products. And I remember I woke up one morning and I did shampoo, conditioner, body wash, bar of soap, shaving cream, toothpaste, mouthwash, multivitamin, protein shake. I did a load of laundry, a load of dishes. By the way, ladies, I mean, come on. I mean, just doing some dishes and laundry before I left the house. Anyway, I did all this stuff. And I remember I stopped and I thought to myself, I've used like 22 different products and I've been awake like 15 minutes. And it just hit me like a ton of bricks, because I came from a business where we had like originally one product and we ultimately got about 6 products, really narrow product line. And I remember thinking to myself, I remember just thinking, wow, what if I had 10 million customers that did what I just did, did 22 products in the first 15 minutes a week. And my question to you is, could you eventually build a customer base of 10 people or 100 people? Or eventually through your team and so on, build a customer base of 1,000 customers. Remember, 1,000 customers, guys, it's a team of 100 people. Because 100 people, we average 10 customers for every one person that says yes. So in other words, that's 1,000 customer orders. So I remember just thinking, if we did that, we had these people that, that saw this vision of living a safe, non-toxic lifestyle. I'm like, this could just be unbelievable. And that's kind of the vision that I had then. My vision, it's so interesting. Businesses ebb and flow. No business goes straight up forever. So Apple doesn't go straight forever. Microsoft doesn't, no one just like rockets forever. They ebb and flow like this. Whenever if you looked at an Apple stock, Apple, I don't know if they are right now, but at one point they were the biggest, most profitable company on earth, right? If you looked at an Apple stock from here to here, it doesn't look like this. It looks like this. The overall trajectory, if you drew a line, is basically straight up, like overall. But dude, it's up and down like this. So let me ask you a question. When should you have jumped ship on that deal? It's just like, no. You just plant your flag and you do it. Like we have a woman named Margie Prandi that's been with the company for 29 years. Margie said to me, she said, Justin, and imagine she went ups and downs and yes and no's and ups and, bright days and dark days and windy days and sunny days and just the whole, it's you guys know how life is, right? Nothing straight up, just life. Well, over 29 years, if you looked at her trajectory would be from starting as a single mom with no prior experience, 3 little kids as a junior high school music teacher. Her overall trajectory, she's made millions of dollars, blah, 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 like success. But when should she have jumped ship? You know what I'm saying? Like, when should she have been like, this is terrible? The answer is, she said to me, I just decided to plant my flag. Like, I just started to plant my flag and like, I'm just going to, she had all sorts of ups and downs, times when she could have just been like, forget this. And what I'm going to share with you as an entrepreneur is this: get committed and stay committed. And just, the grass is green where you water it. It's not greener over somewhere else. It's so interesting. I always find it so interesting when networkers leave their company, because this goes back to Tracy, to your question. Guess what they do? They go like just all out launch somewhere else. And I remember thinking to myself, you already have everything. Just all out launch where you are. You know what I'm saying? Like, go to all out launch with the current team, business, structure, infrastructure that you already have. And the results are just off the charts. So my passion and my conviction of what we're doing, sometimes in businesses, pruning is painful in a business, but it's so profitable. It's like in a tree. When you prune down the tree, you get rid of some of the dead branches. That's actually what makes the tree grow. How many of you remember, how many of you have heard of Yellowstone National Forest? So Yellowstone's literally like one of the wonders of the world. It's just an incredible place. Animals, beauty, mountains, rivers, the whole thing. Yellowstone a number of years ago had a natural forest fire. In other words, the lightning struck Yellowstone and started this natural forest fire. And the way they do it for national parks, if the fire started naturally, they just let it burn because it's kind of like, it's like God's way of cleansing the park, if you will. Anyway, people would drive through and it was like scorched, like the whole mountainside was black. And like, oh my gosh, the beauty is gone. No, dude. When it burned down, it actually gave chance for the next spring, all of the foliage that couldn't grow all of a sudden blossomed like crazy. The trees could breathe and see the sun. It's the way that the earth, the earth kind of cleanses itself. What I'm going to share with you is this: you want to do business with people who believe what you believe. And I believe life is not only about where you go, it's about who you go with. You give me Tracy Anderson, I'll go with Tracy Anderson all day, every day, all day, every day. Since she's an amazing woman. I love her positivity. I feel that way about each of you. So I just want to hunker in with people who believe what I believe, share a similar common vision. We see the world as it is, not as we are. I want to work with people that see the world as in similar lenses, how I see it, like in a positive, vibrant way. And plant our flag, water, your grass is going to water where or is going to grow and be green where you water it. And let's go build a business that we all look back on in 6 months, in a year, in 5 years, in 10 years, in 20 years, and say, oh my goodness, we'll have ups and downs like this, but the overall trajectory of our lives will look like this. But again, if you focus in, you'll say, well, then there was this, and then there was this, and there was this. But overall, what we're going to go build is going to be very, very special. So I'm as passionate right now as I've ever been about our business. And I think that, again, sometimes when you prune, that actually is what grows the business, because the light can shine on other parts of the tree that, heretofore we're kind of weighed down by the heavy branches. So I'm really excited about where we're going. I think we still have a chance to be one of those companies that they look at and they say, that was a disruptor of industries. Like, that company didn't just do good stuff. They changed whole industries. And that's where I feel like we're, where we're headed. So that's my long answer to your question.
No, that's fantastic. I love that, the metaphors that you use there, the picture you painted. It's crystal clear to me. Now we all know that we've got a new CEO, Ozma, and we're all pretty excited about that. And this wasn't one of my original questions, but it made me think. She's dropped some hints lately about a new product coming down the road. Do you want to expand on that at all?
I can only tell you what I know. So let me share a couple things that I know for sure. So Ozma is one of the premier product formulators literally in the United States or in North America. I mean, maybe in the world. And I'm not trying to exaggerate, but let me give you guys an example. She designed and built and launched the liquid biocell. Liquid biocell sold tens and tens and tens and tens and tens and tens and tens of millions of dollars of revenue, like a bunch of revenue. So think about it. Think if that was you. You designed from the scratch, you built a product that sells, multiple tens of millions of dollars of revenue. You're like, that's pretty cool. She created 7 international patents on that product, 37 human clinicals on that product. She had one thing that she's a freaking genius at is getting good pub. She put it on Fox, on ABC, on NBC. Like, she's good at she knows the PR game really well. So anyway, she said to me the other day, we're on the phone. She goes, Justin, we have a product basically coming this fall. She goes, it's like she goes, I've held it in my wings for 2 years, for about 2.5 years. She goes, it's the best product innovation, like disruptive innovation that I've ever been able to come out with. And I'm like, okay, well, tell me. I'm like, talk to me, tell me more what it is. And she goes, look, she goes, I'm going to start kind of like leaking some of it out. She goes, but I'll just tell you this, we're going to do it right. All the tools, all the systems. So everything's built when we do it. And I also will share this with you guys. I'm really, really excited about, okay, I'm shifting gears on you a little bit but I hope this will paint a little bit of vision of kind of what's in my mind. So I'm super fired up about the product innovations that she's going to continue to hit us with as we go over the next 6 months, 12 months, 3 years, 5 years. She's already got them in the queue. This girl's already built most of them. When I say build them, either on idea or literally build them. But I'm also really excited about systematizing and simplifying our business. So let me give you guys just a really quick vision, okay? If you guys don't mind. And by the way, I'm gonna give you this much vision, but I literally want you to know. I think we'll have this stuff coming out like real soon. Like some of my goals is by March 1st to start announcing and talking about this, and then no later than April to have it fully rolled out, if not a little sooner. Okay, but let me give you a little bit of vision. So our last event, we had our social retail conference, and I did calls with all the folks that spoke on stage. Like, I would do these little conference calls to just make sure that they were feeling confident and prepared and just were ready to roll, right? Well, 2 of the groups I did calls with were these Platinum 3 panels, these panels of folks that were Platinum 3 or in essence higher, but these Platinum 3s. And what hit me was this. They were primarily women. There was one man too, but what they do is duplicatable. Like, you can teach what these folks are doing. It's not like, well, they just happen to know a lot of people, or, well, they're just a social media guru. Like, you could teach the scripts of what they do. And it was so interesting is they all kind of did similar stuff. It wasn't like one was over here, one was over here. Well, they were all kind of like doing this. And I was like, dude, you could bottle that, So let me give you guys just a little bit of vision. I'm really excited about this idea that we could build a mission. So we have already our Live Clean mission, but what if we sat down with a friend for coffee And we had a mission to help people make $1,000 a month. $1,000 to me is a comma in your check. I mean, it's like a big deal at this point. Like, think about it this way. If you were going to go spend $500, you might gulp a little bit. You might think about it a little bit. You might call your spouse, but you might spend $500. $1,000, dude. You're like gonna gulp. You're gonna call your spouse. You're gonna like, it's $1,000 purchase. That's like a big deal. $1,000 a month, I think, is a really, really big deal in folks' lives. Like, for the average person out there, like, we could really change their life by putting a comma in their check. Okay. So here's what I've wanted to do. I also wanted to simplify the plan. Where, you guys ever had that thing where, like, how do I make, $5,000 a month, or how do I make $1,000 a month, or how do I make $2,000? And we're kind of like, you know what? There's a few ways to get there in our plan, because there is, and it's one of the beauties of our plan. There's a few roads to Rome, because of the customer side and the builder side. But what if we launch something like this? This is kind of my vision. It's what we call Path to Platinum, Drive to Director. So our goal is to help 10,000 families make $1,000 a month. The way we do that is we have our system called Path to Platinum, which will get you to $1,000 a month. Path to Platinum, by the way, is will be moduled trainings of exactly what you need to do to hit platinum. So learnable, teachable, duplicatable, like the exact right things, right? And then the language would be, once we're gonna help you go to $1,000 a month on Path to Platinum, then we're gonna help you to help 3 families go to $1,000 a month on our Drive to Director. At that point, you're making about $24,000 to $30,000 a year, and by helping 3 of your families make it, $1,000 a month. The point is, it's all about $1,000 a month, Path to Platinum, Drive to Director, and then we modularize, train the whole Drive to Director. Here's exactly what you need to do. So, what do you say? How do you do it? What, etc. We also have our new app launching at the next event in April. And so I just imagine getting someone started. First thing, $1,000 a month. Here's how we're going to do it, Path to Platinum. Here's how we're going to help 3 families do it, Drive to Director. And we systematize, what should you do every single day? How do you do it every single day? What do you say every single day? You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, once someone says, okay, so Tracy, I'm going to share this now. I know we're recording, so compliance, I'm so sorry, but I'm just only doing this to give you guys just a little teeny bit of vision. Just, okay, so I'm not trying to make an income claim. I'm not like someone someone put an asterisk in the comments here. This is my asterisk statement. I'm not trying to make an income claim, and I'm also not trying to make a guarantee that this can happen, but I'm trying to give you some vision here. When someone says to you, they're like, how do I make $5,000 a month? And we're kind of like, well, there's a couple ways to get there. Think of it this way. $1,000 a month is our Path to Platinum. Help 3 families do that, and that's our Drive to Director, and you are at $24,000 to $30,000 a year, approximately, okay? Now check this out, guys. Help 40 families, over a period of time, help 40 families on our Path to Platinum, Drive to Director, help them get to $1,000 a month, and you'll be a 6-figure residual income. Help 400 families over time to make $1,000 a month, and you'll be right at a 7-figure residual income. The point I'm really trying to say is simply this: $1,000 a month, same system, over and over and over. It's the same 5 whacks of the tree every single day. Robert Kiyosaki said, getting rich is boring because it's just the same 5 things every single darn day of your life, So the point I'm going to share with you guys is, imagine that we just continue to systematize and continue to simplify the business. And so in other words, it gets more streamlined down to simple conversations that anyone can have. We continue to build the tool set to make it just, hey, invite, present, watch this, here's how we get you there. And then lastly, we continue to launch products into our pipeline that are just life-changing, kind of game-changing products. The chances of us winning, are like a zillion %, right? It's going to go real well. So anyway, that's kind of the vision that I want to share with you guys. And again, I'm not trying to give you a big vision like 9 years from now, we'll have this thing. Like, I want to announce the beginnings of this in about a week, on March 1st. So like, literally, I'm going to the office again tomorrow. I'm already kind of charging on the track. So again, hopefully you guys like this conceptual idea. $1,000 a month, Path to Platinum, Drive to Director. Like, let's hone people down on what they should be doing every single day to succeed in their business and to duplicate and retain their business. Because the two things that we want, right, is we want duplication and retention. I mean, you kind of solve every other ill when you have tons of duplication and tons of retention. Every other challenge you have is kind of sort of gone, right? So that's really where my brain's been focused, is get out of the weeds sometimes and get into like, what are we really trying to accomplish, which is duplication and retention. By the way, one last thing for vision. if we were to go help 10,000 families make $1,000 a month, it's 360 million of new revenue. So the point I'm trying to share with you guys is like, we'd be building a massive empire, at the same time, So they're just trying to give you some conceptual ideas of where I think we could take everything.
Yeah, and with our product line, there's no reason why we can't do that. I mean, we have products that everybody can use, right? And everybody wants, and that other companies don't have. So I think that got everybody really excited. Anna and I were just talking today about we need illustrations to show people how that they can make $1,000 a month. We just had that conversation. So this is very exciting news for everybody. And I was just reading in a book this week. I can't remember the book. But the 3 elements to success really are consistency, duplication, and time. You have to have those 3 things, right? And you just nailed all 3 of those things throughout the course of this training, Justin. There is one more thing that I'd really like to cover quickly, since we have so many Canadians on this call, is we have the big Canada Ignite Tour coming up. And some of you guys will have an opportunity to see Justin in Edmonton or Calgary. We're super excited about that. I'm going to be coming up to see you, yeah. And then we have other great leaders, of course, going to some other cities too. Hopefully you all know about this tour by now. So, how would you suggest inviting people to these events?
Okay, so I have kind of a lot of energy on this subject, so I'll share with you guys some of my thoughts, okay? One of the biggest mistakes I think that we do in promotion, so the word edify, sometimes you hear these words like, just promote the event. You're like, what does that even mean? Or what edify your upline? You're like, I don't even know what you guys are talking about. It's like these different code name, It's like network marketers. We're the kind of folks that you can be in the hallway and someone says, I lost my leg. And you're like, you lost your leg? You're like, oh, it happens all the time. It happens all the time. Don't worry. Like, we have these weird kind of code names, of all the stuff that we know, our little funny language. But to edify means to build up. If you were to edify someone, you would build up who they are. To promote means to make known. So if you're going to go out and promote the event, you just make the event known. Now, let me share with you guys what the movies do and what the sports teams do. They don't promote time and place. That's what most of us do. We're like, dude, the Marriott Hotel at 7:00, like that's what we promote, is time and place. When Greatest Showman, the movie came out, by the way, my little girls, if those of you that have seen that movie, like my little girls run around our house, it's like the soundtrack's on all the time. Like, this is the greatest show. I come around my whole house. So I have a 10-year-old and 8-year-old little girls, and my boys, my 14-year-old boy rolls his eyes, and my 5-year-old little boy jumps in with them. But what you do is you promote the stars. In other words, promote the people. So what I would encourage you to do is promote the people more than I would promote the time and place. You guys following what I'm saying? Because we all have a natural, genuine, authentic curiosity with people. I'll give you guys an example. The magazine, Time Magazine has been around forever, and it had an insert. They finally put an insert in Time called People. It was an insert that would talk about these unique people and what was happening in their lives and so on. Eventually, the insert in the Time Magazine became more popular than the Time Magazine. So they created their own magazine called People Magazine, which is like, how big was the ring, and like, where's the wedding, and like the dress, and whatever. And like, I know that we don't buy it. I get it. But like, when you're standing there at the checkout aisle, you're like looking down like, okay, that's pretty interesting. We're just fascinated, okay? So here's the point, is people, I would promote the people. I'd get good at sharing and promoting the people. So I would promote more to them coming and meeting Tracy than I would to the Marriott at 7:30 on Thursday. Who the heck cares? So here's some great language that I share. It's what I call unique situation. So unique situation is basically this. Let's say I'm calling Tracy. Say, hey, Tracy, look. And by the way, let's say Betty Ann's my superstar guest, which if she was in town, she would be the superstar she is, right? So I say, hey, Tracy, under ordinary circumstances, I probably wouldn't even bug you with something like this. So the language is under ordinary circumstances. Another way to say it is I normally wouldn't call you. You can say it in a natural way to you, but under ordinary circumstances, I wouldn't normally call you with something like this. This is such good language, by the way. Under ordinary circumstances, I probably wouldn't even bug you with something like this. Now, what have you said when you say that without even saying it? If under ordinary circumstances, I wouldn't call you, but here I am on the phone, what have you already said? This is an extraordinary circumstance, or this is a unique situation. So, Tracy, look, under ordinary circumstances, I probably wouldn't even call you or bug you with something like this, but there's a really unique situation happening in our market. I'm working with an incredible woman, And she's been super successful in business. She's very relatable. She's super pretty, but she's also super humble and like really approachable. Her name's Betty Ann. I can't wait for you to meet her. I actually want to personally introduce you to her. She's coming up all the way, from the States, all the way, or in her case, all the way from this province to this province. Are you guys following what I'm saying? I would edify and promote her, and then I'd say I would normally not even bug you with something like this, but with this person in town, I thought this would be a unique, person that you'd want to meet. Here's another great line I use. It always makes sense for good people to meet. I just believe, Tracy, it always makes sense for good people to meet. I'd love for you to meet Betty Ann, just so you'd have a chance. Let me actually connect you guys on Facebook. Let me tag you in one of her stuff, like in a video or her post. Let me show you who this woman is, because we have like one of the biggest leaders in our company coming to my local market. Now, you may have an interest. You may not remember that whole line, guys. This may be for you, may not be, but I'm sure you'd agree. Anyone that's accomplished what this woman's accomplished is worth taking, an hour out of your time to at least meet. Do you guys see that? So I like to promote the people more than the time and place. And what I'll also share this with you. Promotion's everything. Like I tell people, every text message, every voicemail, every phone call, everything, it's like, yo, I'll see you at the event. Like I'll be there and I'll see you there. Like we just get our whole team rallied behind, I'll be there. Are you coming with me? I'd encourage you to meet, pick friends up, meet them for dinner first. Like just, hey, look, Tracy, you and I, we're way overdue for coffee. We're way overdue for dinner. Let's go to dinner first. Then let me come introduce you to this woman. I can't wait for you to meet her. Anyone that's accomplished what she's been able to accomplish in business is the kind of person that's worth taking an hour and meeting. Plus, we owe each other dinner anyway. Like we need to go connect. You guys see what I'm saying? Make it easy for them to say yes. I tell people, always make it easier for them to say yes than it is to say no. I'll pick you up. I'll buy you, a coffee first. Like, it's by your side of the town. Like we'll go over there. Like make it easy to get yeses. And that's kind of how I like to promote events, is just to get them there through the promotion of the people versus promotion of the time and place.
That's golden. I love that approach. That's something unique that I haven't heard described before. I like that philosophy. Also, how about saying, bring your friends or your family, or bring somebody with you, right?
Yes.
Get more people there and think about maybe
build a car,
who they know. Yeah. So you guys, I hope you've found a lot of good content in this. I've got lots of notes. I'll be posting the recording so we can go back and watch it again, take more notes. There's other questions we had that he covered in earlier things. A lot of questions about Facebook, because Justin has so much great content on Facebook, on his lives, that deal with, how to use Facebook. And, you can find it on his Facebook page, Justin Prince, or you can find it on One Voice. Search the topic you're looking for. And if you comment in those posts, and ask Justin a question, he'll answer those. I know he dedicates.
Let me say this, Tracy. So I'll either answer it there, or sometimes what I like to do is sometimes where I get some of my content for my Facebook Lives is I'll get questions. So if you guys have questions like, hey, how do you do this? How do you do that? Just know I actually might just do a whole video on it, and then tag you, in the video and say, hey, here's the answer. That's the way so if I can help you with any questions, just know I'm happy to.
Perfect. All right, you guys. So I think that kind of wraps it up for tonight. Obviously, if you can get to see Justin in Canada or at another event, to do so. It's obviously just worth it for that alone, just to see him. If you get your prospects in front of him, even better, right? So thank you again, Justin, for your time. Bryn, thank you for your time for getting on. I will post the link to this recording as soon as possible so you can tag all your team that couldn't get on it. And we'll see you again next week on the team call.
Thanks so much.
All right. Thanks, you guys.